Lauren said she's going to stuff me, but I'm trying to talk the kids into, just torching me, but I don't know. I don't know who's going to win that battle.
Whoever dies last.
That's true. All right, Michelle, are we live?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I'll call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock on March 2nd, 2021. Roll call, please.
Scott Weaver,
Here.
Matt Roslowski,
Here.
Heather Paisley,
Here.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from last month?
I saw no issue and I will make that motion.
I will second that motion. Heather, did you get the minutes?
I did, thanks.
Okay, great. Do we have any citizens online, Michelle?
I have nothing.
Okay. Village administrators report, please.
Okay, hold on to your seats.
All right.
Okay, oh, and Mary Ann has been very instrumental in all of this, so I couldn't have gotten everything done this month without her, so just so you guys are aware. We
Good
continue
job,
to
Mary Ann.
help
Thank you.
Portage County with water billing and meter installs. There's still a lot of issues there. Mary Ann attended a navigating grants webinar. It was useful in writing grants and finding grants. We've ordered playground equipment for Bookert Park Phase 2. And in fact, I just signed the work authorizations today. We're going to be getting a seesaw, new swings for the swing set, backboards for the basketball courts and new hoops. We are going to be getting something called fiber mulch. It's different than regular mulch. The service garage is going to be having to go down and remove all the pea gravel for that. And we're going to have to, Mary Ann is checking into, we need to have something to contain it so that it doesn't spread. We're looking at right now, like the little bumper things that stop your car in parking lots.
Mm-hmm.
We can either get those in rubber. Mary Ann thought she found some today that are plastic that are only $40-some, so we might go with that. And that would be ideal for down the road when we get ready to do the fencing around the playground area. That'll help there. Okay. I'm sure there was something else. Oh, and we're going to be painting some of the playground equipment and bringing everything. This is not part of the grant, but for the risk management stuff, things that have to be painted and everything to keep us straight with the insurance company.
and
Okay.
we got some replacement parts on that on the playground that they needed for risk management also.
Let's see. Mary Ann turned in the paddling enhancement grant today.
Oh, good.
The price is still the same. She worked very hard on that, and I hope we get it because that's 100% grant to do that.
Yeah.
What that'll be doing, I think I explained it at council, but it would be doing the turnaround for the canoe. So we're going to asphalt that, put 4 parking spaces over by the river. The service department will dig down from the turnaround to the river's edge, 4 inches, I think it is, and we're going to put 4 inches of gravel in because we can't, because it's in the floodplain, we have to keep it at the same elevation. And we also applied to do the parking area between the lodge and Spud Building and Katie's Meadows.
Okay.
Additional parking for canoers and kayakers. So that came to about $47,000 somewhere. It's under 50. Didn't have to be bid.
Access signs
And
and
access
a
all
couple
different-
a trailer parking spot, a couple of them, along with handicap spots.
Oh,
yeah, so that includes all the signage and everything.
and who was that with, Linda? Who?
That was
quoted that?
through ODNR. It's a different type of grant than they've ever had before.
No. Who quoted you those prices?
Todd Lamb.
Lamb?
Todd Lamb, who has been doing the paving down
Yeah.
into the trails.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, perfect.
so we have that. Let's see, as you everybody knows, we had 2 water breaks. We're still sending out AMG alerts because there's a glitch in the system that the county has on getting us set up. I think it was called Brave or Dare. I can't remember what it was called.
Brave.
Brave? Okay. Thought maybe I forgot something. Notified the school and DMRC and the chamber about the issues that we're having about the flags and the flower baskets. I did reach out to my friend that works at Ohio Edison that I was told does that. He does residential. He doesn't do government. So we're going to have to go back to Lisa. Maybe we'll set up a Zoom meeting with Lisa and see what we can do to work things out so we can still put the flags on the flagpoles and such. Have gotten some suggestions from different people in the group. One said, let's our concrete trash cans that we have out at the corners now, let's make those into flower boxes and buy all new metal black ones. That's a possibility. I had tossed out the idea of maybe contacting the businesses to see if we could hang the baskets from their building along with the flags. And so Dave said he could probably build boxes, but then we just don't have enough space to keep putting more things on the sidewalks. They're not.
No.
That would be a concern. So
What happened to all the old concrete planters we used to have?
We only
sat on-
had 7. The stone
Is that all there
concrete
was?
ones,
What's that?
the stone concrete ones that are at the corners,
Yeah.
we still have those at the corners. The trash company picks those, empties those. There's 7 of them.
I thought there were separate planters.
No,
Okay. Yeah, I thought there was planters that were a little bit smaller than those and looked just like those.
no, not that I'm aware of.
All right.
If there were, then somebody's gotten rid of them. So we're still working on that. We'll try and push through that as soon as Michelle has a few minutes and Matt can free up an hour during the day to do that.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well,
say,
he would-
I don't see them budging on that. I like to get on a call with Lisa and hash it out and just maybe see if they'd be
yeah.
a little bit more reasonable. But I think as a contingency to that, we should determine exactly what poles are theirs and which ones aren't.
Well, I said something to Dave and I will have Mary Ann make a work order for the service department to get out there and do any electrical poles, not the poles that are shorter that have just the cable wires and those kind of things. Because maybe there might be enough of the shorter ones that we could move everything to those poles.
Right.
It won't matter. But when I went through town, I was like the little old blue-haired lady going down the street. The electric wires are so much higher than our poles, our flag poles and such. I don't see where it's an issue. I mean, maybe we should bite the bullet. Let's relook at the contract again. And I don't know. It's a council decision, not a mayor decision. But
Yeah, I'd like to get Lisa on the horn though and just
Yes,
chat a
yes.
little bit. So whenever Michelle's has time or whatever, I can make time.
okay. Okay, so that worked on the budget, have a lot of questions on the budget. And I'm gonna try and get an appointment on the phone with Jenny this week. Because when I was going through it, the way it's broken down, if you guys recall, it showed labor, and then it would show, I don't have it in front of me. It would like list telephone or electric. Well, when it says telephone, if it has telephone for the cemetery, we don't have phones at the cemetery. So why do we have phones coming out of that? And there's nothing that says cell phones. So is the phone bill for cell phones and the regular phones that we have in the office? So how do I figure out a budget for those if I don't know what those monthly bills are? So there's just a lot, those are just the little things, and there's a lot of those, so I just put question marks by those to help me do it, because this is the first time I've had to do the budget.
Yeah, right.
So I finished evaluations. I'm probably going to be submitting for some raises for some of the people. Not everybody was happy with their evaluations, and they expressed their concerns with me. And I just explained why I did it the way I did. What it is, it's a scoring sheet where it's 1 through 5. Well, I don't normally give anyone a 5 because there's always room for improvement. Sorry. But then there were some people that were lacking on different areas, and one of them I went back because I thought, okay, maybe I'm not being impartial enough, and re-looked at it and did it again. And it did score a little higher. But everyone will be getting some sort of a raise. Some will be getting a 3% raise. Some might be getting more. They're still within the guidelines of what I'm allowed to give. I will probably meet with council president on that and discuss it with him before I do it. I don't have to, but I will.
Thank you, Mayor.
I'd just like to try and be fair and get a different opinion. Have been answering a lot of questions from people on the zoning, in zoning in particular, and the Dollar General store. Mary Ann has made a spreadsheet for me, or the new village administrator, to track our vehicle maintenance, because that's one of the things that risk management said that we need to do. So that if one of our vehicles are in an accident, we can say, well, we just replaced the brakes on that this date. So if they're saying the brakes were the issue, we can show that we were taking the regular maintenance that we should be taking.
Right.
We did the replat for Dollar General and zoning, and we're going to be doing a replat for Imagine's property where the scientist used to be. That property is in the process of being sold. Sent out all the letters that zoning wanted me to send out on maintenance issues. Haven't heard back from any of those. I'll have to track and see what the date line is, because I gave them 30 days on it. Harner Plumbing finally came in, and they're putting in the flushless toilets and the faucets. Got a call from Beth Mattis on the last water break. She's from the EPA, regarding, she forgot that we didn't have the water and sewer plants anymore. Wanted to know if we had taken care of the paperwork for the boiler. And when we were on the phone, she brought up the reservoir, because we haven't completed the reservoir yet. Again, the county will be taking that project over as far as paying the bills for it. On that end, Beth Mattis has been speaking with Tia. I found out today they don't want to put what I call just a tank that we were going to tuck behind the pump station up there and put trees around. They would like to put in, my words, not hers, a tower, because she feels that we'd have more pressure. And I said, well, the residents really didn't want a tower up there, to have something high up there. So that's going to be, that might be throwing a wrench into things. We're going to have to wait and see. There's just so many other things with the transfer of the plants right now that is bogging down, and this county still has not hired a new Gene Roberts, whatever Gene Roberts' position was. He was the head of all of that, and they haven't replaced him yet. So that's what I've been doing for the most part, which is more than I want to be doing.
Wait a minute. Gene's gone?
Gene Roberts left December 31st. So everything, they have not named a successor yet. Tia has been doing all of the legwork without any authority to make any decisions. It's been very hectic.
Sure.
The water, we're supposed to be getting a letter this week, according to Todd Bragg from the county, who's in charge of finance, to let the residents know You're gonna be getting your December bill that's at Manaway rates. You'll get a January bill without a surcharge from the county for around that $65. One for February, again, an estimate, and no surcharge. That's supposed to be in the mail allegedly to the residents, the bill on the 8th, but they were supposed to give me a draft letter on what the letter was supposed to say. I haven't seen that yet. So I'm going to say that's not going to happen because they have to have a resolution before the commissioners to approve that, which they haven't done yet. So I don't know, we might be going another month without getting water bills. So that's scary. And we've been trying to explain that to the residents when they call us because they're not getting a response from anybody at the county at this point. Getting down to what Service has been doing. Service painted council chambers. They fixed the light in the hallway in Mary Ann's office. And they fixed the light outside my office. They've been plowing and salting during the cold snap. They ordered a bunch of nuts and bolts that they need to have in stock so they're not running to the store all the time. They repaired the utility sink at the shop and they changed the oil in the F-350. They painted the west wall in the service garage. And then Dave and I discussed what streets need to be addressed this year besides Canada Road. And when we get to that part of the Canada Road thing, I'll explain that to you. And then I did meet, and then I spoke with Dave about it. Went down to the festival building with an electrician last night and met him because we couldn't put those water lines in to make all those connections down there. So we only have 1 meter because we found that there were electrical lines under the ground from when it used to be a pump station. And we wanted to verify that those electrical lines had been abandoned so that when they were boring underground, they didn't blow us up, so to speak. He says they have been abandoned. Walked around a bit with him, looking at some other things out there. And today, when I talked to Dave about it, Dave added that the lights down at the basketball courts, that he's replaced the bulbs and the eyes on them and they're still not working. Mr. Clark went down there today and with his tester, and there is power to the 2 lamp poles down there. So he's going to he being Mr. Clark, is going to do some more testing down there to see what maybe the issue is to help us out. So that is the service report. And
Tell Mr. Clark, thank you.
if you guys would like a copy of it, it'll be in the minutes. I'll have Mary Ann scan it.
Okay.
Because she had to help me remember everything that we did last month. Okay, sorry I took so long.
No, that's okay. Tell Mr. Clark thank you for service department.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, review of legislation. We have none.
None yet.
Pardon me?
None yet.
None yet. New business, the cemetery trust letter.
Okay, I had put that out to you. Cookie and I had tried to get together when it was just the 2 girls. And we just couldn't get a date. So I just moved forward with this letter. Today I get an email from Cookie that she wants to revamp the flowers. She wants to put more perennials in and change some things around. So the cost is probably going to change on number 1 on that. We only had 1 bid from a mower that was an eligible bidder this year. I wasn't going to take the time to re-advertise and reach out to. What we did was everyone who put a bid in last year, Mary Ann can probably look up the names of those companies. We sent them a letter or an email asking them to submit a bid and none of them did. So,
Okay.
I mean, I did what I could, right?
Yep.
Plow truck is on there. Heather, when we bought the plow truck, we had asked the cemetery trust to give us $4,000 a year for 5 years on the purchase of the plow truck, since we use it when we do burials and such up there. And they agreed to that. So this year is the 4th payment. And then I
Okay.
added number 4, the water bill,
Oh,
and calculated it off the chart from the transfer agreement. And so we have that. And so those are the totals of what our water should be broken down into the 6-month type areas. The only other thing I might add, Dave also told me today that there's a widowmaker down at the cemetery. So I drove down, and I think I know which one it is, but he's going to have to come down and show me which one it is. And we will get a price on that and submit that to the trust also. And Cookie would also like to have mulch this year for the beds. And so I need her to tell me how many yards of mulch we need, and I will add that on. So hopefully by March 16th, I will have a revised letter.
okay.
Is a widowmaker a tree that's in danger of falling?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Or a very large branch that's
yeah. Some branches
rotted.
split or
fall.
something, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there's a tree. Yeah, there's a tree problem down there.
yeah.
Well, they're old trees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Older than we are, right?
Should I go on?
Pardon
You want me to
me?
just go on? You want me to just go on to the next one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the residential aggregate legislation. Okay, we were able to sign an agreement. It's for I'm sorry, not 5 years. Michelle, correct me. Is it 5 years? Do I need to pull it out? For some reason, I was thinking it was 5 years this time. Nope.
I have it here somewhere.
Everybody's scrambling to find it.
Yeah,
Anyhow, we've been paying until May of this year, we've been paying 4.95 cents per kilowatt. This round, we are going to be getting 4.66 cents per kilowatt.
4.66 for 4 years through May 2025.
Thank you.
48.
That's where I got the 5 for 25. So you guys won't have to do that the first year without me, so it'll be done.
Wonderful. She just had to throw that in there, right?
Yeah. Countdown, right?
And also in this grant, we build into it, we'll receive approximately $2,700 a year of a grant. So this is where the legislation aspect comes from. Since we're going to be receiving approximately $2,700 a year, I'm going to ask town service to think about right now writing legislation so that we earmark what that money is going to be spent for. And what I would recommend, but I want your input also, is to use it to upgrade our electric lights in our buildings with LED lights, instead of just leaving it out there under miscellaneous anything.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
So what are your thoughts on that? Let's earmark it for electrical issues and upgrading our electric.
Yeah, I like that idea because I mean, you're always going to have some upgrades to do with electrical.
What kind of lights are in the service garage? Just fluorescents?
I know that whenever they've been purchasing lights, like the new lights that they just put in my hallway are they look fluorescent, but they're LED bulbs, you know, the
Yeah.
long bulbs. I didn't know that they made those now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we could do, and I don't know if they have to change out the, oh, I'm sorry. When the lights go bad on
Oh,
fluorescent,
the emergency.
the
Oh, the ballasts?
ballast, yes. I don't know,
No.
if you put a different kind of ballast in it, these are not.
No, in fact, they have to bypass the ballast if that's what, I mean, if they have fluorescents down there, they just have to wire them. They have to go around the ballast.
Or direct
We just
wire it somehow.
Yeah,
They have
Okay.
all-in-one units that you can just like pull out the whole fluorescent thing and just pop in a new LED unit. It's got new kind of reflectors and they're really bright and
Yeah.
pretty. So you don't
Yeah.
have to do a lot of fancy wiring, which is a pain.
So what do you guys think about that? Should we do some kind of legislation for that? You want to think about it for until next month?
well, I don't think we should pigeonhole ourselves into just electrical, though. I think that's, I think we should have a couple of things, maybe, like a wish list for the service department and in Village Hall that maybe we could lump together instead of just tying it up with electrical, because then what'll happen someday in council is it'll be, how come you're spending that on, something besides electrical? You know what I'm saying? I think general improvements.
Well, $2,700 isn't going to go a long way a year, but still.
$2,700 a year.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like the concept of using it, for something electrical, but certainly if there's something else that requires attention. But what I like about the LEDs is because it has a lot of potential to save us money in the long
Right.
run. So we're spending other people's money to save us money, so we
Right.
should take a look at all that stuff first.
So you want to think about it till next service meeting?
Yeah,
Come up
let's say, let's think about it, then poll some, employees and things like that, see if they have some
Yeah.
ideas.
Okay. Moving on to the next thing then, discuss legislation for the trash and recycle. And we had emailed you the contract with a few changes in it. Basically the only thing, some of the people who received it, like, will be the village administrator now instead of Jenny, but the only thing that I remember adding, let me look through, is for some reason we never put in commercial or business, however you want to call it, recycle. And this time we are going to put it in as an opt-out if they so choose, because the county is no longer going to be taking cardboard.
Opt-in,
Opt-in,
like trash.
yes. So I've gotten a couple calls like from Perfect Choice in different places that in the next month or so that they will no longer have cardboard pickup. Now Manline already uses Kimball, but some of the other places that get a lot of cardboard are going to be up the creek right now. And I told them to reach out to Kimball, and Kimball will give them the best price they can for right now, but there's nothing in our agreement, so. Did anybody have a chance to read it over thoroughly and make any other changes?
I read it over. I didn't see anything that I wanted to change per se yet, or anything that stuck out to me.
Same.
Would you guys like to move this up for first reading at the March meeting, and then the rest of council can
Oh, yeah.
do it and go 3 readings and
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to. Yep. I'll make a motion to move it up to council.
Matt
Second.
seconded it? All in favor, say aye.
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 Who
Aye.
second it?
I seconded
I'll
it.
second it.
Or you can
2 seconds.
It's a unanimous decision.
I think Kimball's done a very good job. Anytime we've had
Oh,
it, they've been great.
Yeah, they have. They've been really good.
Because usually if a customer has a problem and they call them and they say you have to call the mayor, they call the mayor and the mayor handles their problem. So
Hmm. No, they're good.
that'll be on the list for the new mayor in 3 years. Okay. Advertising applications for service workers. We did advertise. We interviewed one person. He has experience in another, in a city where he works. He probably could be trained on backhoe and front end loader and that kind of stuff. He knows how to plow. He knows how to mow. Well, we don't do our own mowing right now. And again, those might be things that might change down the road, you know, that we'll start doing our own mowing. I don't know. But I would still like to continue advertising for a full-time service person so that we have a backup plan.
Good. You're not getting a lot of bites, Linda.
Well, it was only put in the paper one weekend, I think it was. And it might have, I can't remember if it was 3 days, you know, like a Saturday and a Sunday or what. So it wasn't in very long. It was also put on our webpage. So we really didn't get, like I say, we only got 3 applicants on that.
Okay.
He was pretty good for 2 days, though. I was thinking about that. Pretty good.
Let's see, moving on to okay, Booker Park Phase 2, we already talked about that. We're gonna start working on getting that project done and getting it behind us. Still have not heard anything on Booker Park Phase 3. Heather, that was a grant that DMRC was going to pay the match for it to do the trail, extending the trail on the north side of the park, so on the north side of High Street. Doing the trails and some other things. The whole total estimated cost of the whole project is $110,000. DMRC would pay the match, which is around 24,000, somewhere in that area. I can't remember. I don't have it in front of me at the moment. It is a reimbursable grant, which means the village has to pay that $110,000 up front, and then as we go, we pay the bills, and then they would reimburse us as estimates were submitted. So we'll wait and see what council wants to do when we finally get that. Because they did approve going for the paddling grant, which again is $47,000. We still have about between $20,000 and $25,000 worth of work to do on Booker Park Phase 2. So trying to get all that stuff done and get at least that project behind us, and hopefully we get approved for the paddling grant. That would be nice.
Mhm.
Okay, moving on. Here we are, March Canada Road. We have to decide if we want to do 1,600 feet or 3,200 feet. If we go to 1,600 feet, it's about $40,000. Keeps us under the threshold of $50,000 that we don't have to put it out for bid. If we go with the 3,200 feet, it's going to be around $80,000. The way John and I had written up the bid, we would give them the specs and tell them that the project could not exceed $80,000. So, and again, that would be coming out of road levy money in 1 year. So think about that while I discuss these other things with you. Because we have, like Prospect Street, we're doing that in sections. And we're going to be doing West Prospect. It's going to start on May 15th. That's $357,000. That's with grant and and our match. I suppose you guys probably want to refresh your memory on the figures on that one. And let me find it. I need a secretary.
Thought you had one.
What happened to her?
Let me find the right sheet. I was hoping that Dean would be here tonight. Okay, I'm sorry. In it, the village is paying $150,000. The grant amount is $337,000. We're taking out a loan for $50,000, bringing it to a total of $537,000. And again, the 150 would be from road levy money.
What was the total again?
537,000.
Thank you.
So we have that project that we're going to be doing.
And when did you say they want to start? May?
They're starting that one on March 15th. In fact, Mary Ann, I need you to, we need to write letters to the residents up on that end to let them know that this is going to be starting. And the completion date they were thinking would be the end of May and June, depending on how well the weather cooperates with them.
We should probably say June.
Well,
Yeah.
and they will be leaving one lane open so traffic can still get through. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why I think that we should only do $40,000 on.
I agree.
And just to refresh you guys' memory, we also had applied for a grant for the Northeast Quadrant.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what those figures on.
Wasn't that for water?
Yes, but okay. Yes, it will be for water. That's going to be for water, and the county will be taking that one over. But on our list today, when Dave and I were talking, he was saying that Glenwood is starting to break apart. And that's one of the, where they would be replacing the water lines. Well, when they dig that up, they're going to be repaving. So I would say let's not address the condition of that road right now,
Mm-hmm.
because once that grant is approved, the paving will be part of that project as they replace the water lines. I just wanted to, I didn't think about that when Dave and I were talking. He said, well, that's one of the roads that need to be done. And it is in pretty bad shape. And that's why I wrote it down. So thank you for reminding me that it was totally coming out of water. The other street that Dave and I talked about was Franklin Street. I think that we need to think about applying for OPWC, and we wouldn't get the funding until 2022. and get a price from the engineers to do Franklin from the west end, at least down to Elm Street. Now, when we do that, that is replacing the storm sewers that are in such sorry shape up in that area that causes all the flooding down to Prospect. In that grant, we would also want to include repairing that line next to Tom Aldrich and
Right.
the other, I'm gonna call them Osmonds because that's who used to live there. That goes up behind Chelsea Greger's house and up to Franklin. And I think that that's what we should use our upcoming 2022 road levy money for, is that project there. So we should bring that up. It's certain at council, and
Okay.
if we address it at council, then we could have CT give us a cost estimate
Okay.
to do that section.
So do you want me to bring that up in the report?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Also bring up that you're only going to do 1,600 feet. And look, I guess I need approval from you guys to,
Well,
do we need legislation, Michelle, to take, do legislation to do 1,600 feet of Canada Road?
No, you don't need legislation for that since you're not going to have to competitively bid it. So I think it would probably just be good to have them approve it by motion and get some quotes,
now,
right?
that the original $40,000, that was through Lamb, right? Through Todd?
Yes,
Okay. He's really the only one that's looked at it, isn't he?
yes.
Okay.
Actually, no, let me think who else looked at it. I can't remember off the top of my head who else looked at it, but it was well over $100,000 to do the whole road.
Okay.
I will have to look back through my paperwork,
No, that's okay. That's okay.
but no, somebody else. I just can't remember who it was. It wasn't Rania. It might have, I don't know. I can't remember. I've talked to so many people. I
No,
don't
really,
remember.
that's it's okay.
Well, usually I remember those kind of things. Okay, moving on, old business.
Well, hold on.
Oh, make your motion.
Let's go back to this. I mean, Matt, you brought it up, I think last month that or at council or something, you said something about 1,600 feet. You thought we should only do 1,600 feet of Canada.
Yeah,
Road.
yeah, 1,632 if we were able to. But, you know, with all the other projects that we've got going on right now, I think it'd be more prudent to only do 1,600 feet.
I think I agree.
I
Yeah,
would rather, yeah, I would rather give a little bit to everybody around town to keep everybody a little bit happy.
yeah.
There's a lot going on.
And lots of road projects, so we're making progress.
Okay.
But the one
Okay.
that I want to,
I have an issue though, because you're going to be doing more than one road project in this year. And if one contractor comes in with low quotes on all of them, in your aggregate, you're going to have more than $50,000 on that one guy. And it's going to look, it might invite the appearance of splitting projects so that you don't have to bid. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask you, okay? If we get an estimate from CT to do West Franklin, that project won't happen until next year. We'll have to rebid. If we do Canada Road,
Yeah.
with a guesstimate of $40,000 to do 1,600 feet, here's one road project.
That's one road project, yeah, by itself. You don't have any concern about some other paving thing that's going to come up this summer that
No, because anything else is not road levy money, it's from a different fund.
It's not a matter of whether, if it's a paving contractor, if we're giving more than $50,000 to somebody to do paving this year, it's gonna look like it's a split up
Well,
thing
if we get estimates from different people,
Well, the only other thing we would be using land for would be the Paddle In project, right? Which is a grant anyway. I mean, that may or may not happen. That's,
we don't know if that's gonna happen.
yeah, exactly. And even if it does, it might not happen until next year. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
who knows
Okay.
if,
Okay, well, I just wanted to bring that up as a concern. If you thought that there was gonna be multiple roads being paved this summer that in aggregate got over $50,000, it's just something to be aware of.
okay.
If you don't think that looks like it's likely to happen, then I'm concerned over nothing, which happens frequently.
I see what you're saying, Michelle, but I mean, applying for the paddling grant, we don't have an answer. We won't have an answer till later in the year.
Right? Absolutely.
So
Yep.
I guess at that point, we'll have to, decide.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to recommend up to council right now that you get some quotes for 1,600 feet of Canada Road, and that's all we're talking about for big paving projects right now, then have at it. Sounds good.
Right, for this year, because I mean, Franklin Street would be next year.
Yep.
Glenwood will be taken care of if we get the grant approved from OPWC to do the Northeast Quadrant Loop.
Which isn't us anyway.
Which isn't us anyhow, and again, it's water lines, but when you replace water lines, you usually end up having to pave anyhow, so.
Right.
I just wanted to remind everybody, especially with Heather being new, all the projects that we have going when people don't think we're doing anything.
There's a lot to do this spring. So I agree, Matt. I say we stick with 1,600 feet and be safe for now,
Typically, how many emergency projects come up during spring and summer? Do you have a lot that you're always going to have some, right? I mean, there's always going to be some emergency repairs and things that you're going to have to deal with, right? So it's
always,
yeah. So yeah, I think the 1,600 would be good too.
Okay.
Then yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I was going to make a motion to send that up to council, 1,600 feet.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then just real quick, just a view from my seat is with, concern about us trying to break up the project to go under the bid radar, right? I mean, it's like, they're distinctly different projects, and I would think that anybody reviewing that can see that. But I guess my question is it normal for a municipality to do multiple roads as part of one project that are in completely different parts of town?
If they have a plan of roads that need to be done in one summertime, they will, in order to get like the most bang for their buck for mobilization, for instance, bid them together. So you actually do end up saving money by bidding them all as one project, and then just say, do this road, do this 600 feet here and do that 400 feet there, but you're doing them all at once because you're here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So there is a benefit to doing it that way.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And then just real quick, last thing, just in terms of streets to repave and putting them on the radar, East Prospect.
I'm sorry?
East Prospect, I'd like to put that on the radar, like after Franklin or whatever.
Yes.
Yes.
I think Franklin, I think the mayor has a really good point. Franklin's more than just repaving. Franklin is like serious stormwater problems, where I think East Prospect is it's heading to the river, man. I mean, the road might be bad, but at least the stormwater is running to the river.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I just want to get
Yeah,
it.
I
I just want
think-
to get it right
I
after.
think Franklin's a good idea.
Yeah.
But no, I'm with you. East Prospect's pretty bad. We just walked down there yesterday. Yeah.
Well, our residents have been very gracious in giving us road levy money, and we have to try and take care of all the different aspects of areas. In fact, to bring up one of the conversations that I had with when I was speaking with Dave today, is he had even suggested that if we could get our hands on a used paving piece of equipment and could find a roller, that he felt that our guys could do this themselves. And he does have a lead on a piece of paving equipment. I'm going to reach out to the person because I know who they are and see, but that's still an added expense. We're still trying to cut back on our budget right now. Todd Lamb has done a good job in any of the areas when we've had smaller projects. I mean, Bramley Drive, he just did that last year, I think the year before. I know Reservoir needs addressed, and that was just redone, Reservoir, in the 90s, I think, or late 80s. And I mean, already they're having issues with their storm sewers. Our guys are going to be going up and redoing some of the storm catch basins up there. So it's just a never-ending cycle. I don't know whether the right type of catch basins were not ordered, but like the one right at the corner of Reservoir and High Street, I mean, whether it was a trash truck or what, and you can just see where they crumbled it in, and it is sunken now there. I mean, just there's a lot of work to do in this little town.
Yeah.
And our residents, like I say, I'm very grateful that they have given us the road levy money. I think we have 2 more years left on this one. Hopefully I want to show them that we're doing the best we can for all our areas in town, not just focusing on one main street. And so there could be funding out there for Prospect Street. I had applied for it before through the same funding that we used to do the end of Orchard Street through the state, or an ODOT project. I mean, we could go back to that. Again, we need to be able to come up with, because it's usually a 50-50 funding. And I thought that project turned out pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, that's something we can look at, but let's see what our forecast is on our budget for the rest of this year and for 2021, because we've got our 2022, and see where we're heading.
Okay.
I mean,
One last question about
roads. I can only give the suggestion.
One last question about road stuff, and then we'll move on. The culvert on Canada Road, has it been completed?
No.
Oh, yeah.
We'll reach out to the Portage County engineers, because we would like to bring the paver in that's going to do the 1,600 feet after they have completed that culvert repair and done their paved whatever they're going to pave on their approach to that culvert.
Yeah. Cool.
And maybe we'll coordinate as best we can. I'm sure that the county will be having their schedule pretty soon on what project. I had been told it would be this spring. We'll see if it gets knocked back. And I know that our guys have ditched the first 1,600 feet, so we can be assured that that part is done
Right.
at this point. So.
Okay. All right. Dan Tillett.
Okay,
Any word on that?
I've been talking with regional planning, about CDBG funding for the Target of Opportunity grant that's out there. According to Todd Peets and Lisa Reeves, we're a good candidate for it. I have reached out to Dan Tillett again and told him that, you know, it's a good project, but we needed letters from the property owners that they are behind this project and a commitment of any financial responsibility that might be. I'm going to say it was maybe the beginning of February when I reached out to him, and I have not heard back yet.
Okay.
So I have reached out to Cernio's office, and I did speak with his right-hand person down there to see about the state bond funding grant, and we will see. Let's have our questions ready because Senator Cernio, is he a senator or congressman from the state? He would like to be invited to our April 20th council meeting to meet us. So, I mean, it's going to be a Zoom. He's going to Zoom in.
Okay.
So, and that's not unusual for new people to do that. But he has made that request of us. And so we can ask him more about how the state bond fund works and what that entails.
Okay.
So far, he has not responded to my email, but I did get something from his assistant, so. Okay, Scott.
Okay. Ohio Edison pole banner agreement. We've already talked about that.
Yep.
The old chipper.
Okay, we passed legislation last month to put it on the .gov. I guess that's
Yep.
what it is.
Gov deals. Yeah, I had my training session this morning and got the, had to have a formal training session to learn how to use Gov deals because they don't want you starting without knowing their rules. But anyway, so yeah, it's all up there and it's going to start Thursday afternoon for 2 weeks
Okay.
for auction.
All right, you need to tell me, well, we'll get together so I can let Tom Nipper, who's interested in purchasing it, how he can bid on that.
Yeah, well, we got time.
We got time.
Okay. So the bidding starts Thursday afternoon?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll get on there and bid against somebody and that way we can run it up, you know?
You might end up with a chipper you don't want there, Scott.
I was kidding. All right. Anything else? Does anyone have anything else?
Yes, I have one more thing, and then we can get the heck out of here.
I got two things.
Okay.
You want to go first?
No, you go
Yeah,
first.
you go.
No, you go first.
Okay. I had gotten copies of the phone bill, but that's for safety, Mary Ann, as I was looking at it. So when I met with Frank Horak down at the Potato Festival Lodge yesterday, I have sent the Potato Festival an email letter from the village administrator zoning inspector because, let me see, can you guys see this?
No.
No, go up higher.
Oh, yeah, raise it up. There you go.
You have to talk because all I see is Scott.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you say something, Mayor?
Huh?
There you go.
Okay,
need to
yeah,
do- I need
I
to do
see
that.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. That is one of those orange extension cords, heavy duty extension cords that someone has direct wired into the electrical box. And Frank Horak said, "Oh, no. So I sent them a letter regarding that picture that is an illegal connection, that it needs to be removed.
Okay.
Is that
And
just because there's no duct tape around the hole?
nothing. Hey, let me see if I can get on. Let me get to the other one.
I was hoping that was like a CAD 5 wire, not like a extension cord, you know?
Okay.
What was at the other end?
Yeah,
The other
there
end
you
has
go.
one of those square boxes that you can put 4 plugs in.
Oh,
It's
that's even better.
It's 100 some
Wow.
feet long, about. Okay, let me see. Okay.
That's scary.
And plugged into it was a chest freezer, an air conditioner.
So here it is. Here's that wire all wrapped up. I don't. Okay. Hanging
Wow.
out. Okay, so there's that. Now let me try this other thing. Okay. And then there's this black tubing. It's about 100 feet of that black tubing that is hooked into this gas line on the ceiling.
Oh,
It appears that they have, this black plastic thing has a connection thing on the end that maybe, I am only speculating, it was used to give gas to something going on at the festival. I can't say what because I don't go to the festival. I'm always on vacation. But again, that's using the gas in our building for the potato festival itself, not for the heat in the building. I've asked them to remove that also,
Wow.
just so you're aware.
Okay.
I
Good
can,
move.
I can email you guys the pictures, or Michelle can email you. I sent her the pictures today when I sent the letter. I gave them till March 15th to take care of these issues, or other action would be taken.
Wow.
And
Good.
we vote the last time on the 16th under contract. I was just a little disconcerted when Frank pointed out, he says, yeah, this is just in here in that electrical box. He goes, okay. Okay.
Wow. All right. Well,
So I thought it needed to be addressed because it could be a safety hazard.
so
Right.
I guess we need to look at that building a little closer monthly, maybe, possibly. Have the guys swing in there once a month and
When Dave met me down there, because the electrical panel that's down there, when Frank was looking at it to determine if that underground wiring was live or not still. Again, okay, you got your electrical panel, and then you have all those places where there's blanks,
Yeah.
and then there's breakers. Well, there's 9 slots with no blanks on it that are open, that if somebody who didn't know what they were doing stuck their hand in there. So Dave is ordering blanks to put in all
Okay.
those. Yeah. So, and again, I guess maybe we should do at least an annual inspection of the place, I guess. I never gave
Well, you
it any
never really,
thought.
yeah, exactly.
But
Huh.
we want to support them and hope that they make money. We let them use that building free of charge. And that includes, we pay for the electric, and Jenny says the electric bill runs. And when Mr. Clark goes down, we're going to make sure everything is shut off that can be shut off, because Jenny said the electric bill is between $60 and $80 every month. And if there's nothing in there, that's quite a chunk of change. So we're going to make sure, like, the concession stand is shut off.
Mhm.
He's fairly certain that the lines that go to the basketball courts come out of the lodge and not the potato festival, but to see where else electric might be getting used.
We should probably inspect the Potato Festival building after the Potato Festival, after they're done and have cleaned up.
True. I had to ask them to clear a path so that Frank could get in today or yesterday, so.
Okay. Huh. All right.
I mean, I'm not gonna blame them totally. I didn't think about it. Apparently, the last village administrator didn't think about it. Dave has been in there a time or two. Jenny had asked him, apparently they got a gas bill for down there. And Dave said he could barely breathe. The heat was so hot, so he shut the furnace down, and it's one of those old ones that hang from the ceiling
Mhm.
that shouldn't be used, and it's not even vented correctly, and the pipe is rusted, so that is shut off now and has been for quite a while. But
Can we make them provide an inventory list going forward in the future so that we're at least aware of what they are storing down there and what they're needing to have plugged in throughout the year?
you could probably, yeah, I mean, we still have one reading. We can make another amendment to it, correct, Michelle?
Yeah, absolutely. Write it down and remember to bring it up at the meeting. Now's the time. No time like right now. Absolutely.
I think the problem is they haven't had consistency, have they, over the past few years? It seems like they haven't had consistent people shutting down the festival, and it just seems like it's been kind of crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it rains. I mean, again, I'm never here, but when I get reports of how bad it rains and stuff, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm scrambling just to get everything put away.
Yep. Okay.
But I mean, we support them, but it's not a village function. So,
Anything else, Linda?
no, I'm gonna shut up.
Okay, Matt, you're up.
I got my two quick things. Let's take a minute. And they're both related to risk management. Number one, the fire department went through a risk management session recently. I don't know if it was like through OPRM, but whoever they do it through. And they came back with no recommendations, squeaky clean.
Wow.
So great job to the guys and gals out at the fire department.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then number two on our list from OPRM, I believe there was the work order system, how to track work orders. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So I went ahead and I did something on Microsoft Teams. So I created a Teams account, and then I put a form on there that could be used, at least in the meantime, as a pretty decent work order kind of repository that could be managed well. So maybe like sometime over the course of the next week or so, Marianne and the mayor and I can get together and check that out. See if that works for you guys. But I think Teams is a great app because it's free, and then there's all the you got it on there.
Oh,
There. Yeah.
good.
Yeah, Teams is great though, so we should try and
That had
leverage.
sent that to me a month ago, and it's in my
Yeah.
active file.
I don't see the form though.
Are you in the? Let me see if you're in.
Manaway Village Service.
Yeah, let's see here.
We can do it other than to make
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's out there though. I know it's out
Okay.
there. Yeah, cool. We'll check it out. Maybe this
Okay.
week.
Oh, and I do have one more thing. Sorry.
You can have 10 more. That's okay.
Today is the deadline for applications for the village administrator. I have received, before I logged on, and maybe when I get off, there might be more, but when I leave tonight, if they're not here before I leave, I'm done. So anything that I receive by, let's say, 7:30 will be fine, that we'll review, but I have two. I have asked Matt, and I made the mistake of also asking Tammy to both sit in on the interviews, and Michelle reminded me because Matt and Tammy serve on a committee together. So we'll just have Tammy give us any questions that she wants to ask, and And I would like to complete the interviews, 2 interviews by the 9th. Matt,
Yeah, sure. I'll be around.
tell me what days work best for you. I know Thursday evening's not a good night for you, so.
Yeah, any day except for Thursday and then Monday of next week because I'll be at the fire department.
All right.
How about Marty? Marty and Matt aren't on a committee together, are they?
Yeah, we're the only 2 that aren't.
Yeah. I don't know, Linda. I mean, if you wanted somebody else there.
Well, I mean, I technically, I don't have to have anyone there. It's a mayor's appointment. I can do the interview by myself and I bring my recommendation to council. And council either approves it or not. That's why I have always tried to include someone from council in my interview so that we get a better opinion than just mine.
Okay. Then just leave it at Matt. Yeah. Okay.
And I did send Matt the application, the second one I got today. So.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll have something in the near future to recommend to council, so,
Keep your fingers crossed, right?
yeah. It was nice,
Okay.
it was nice to get more than just one, though. It was nice to have,
Yeah. Well, now you can take that hat off, hopefully soon.
I'm hoping.
Anything else?
No, I think I'm done. If I forgot anything, I apologize. If I told somebody I was gonna bring something up and I forgot, they'll have to remind me.
Heather, do you have anything?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Michelle, any citizens?
No, nothing.
Okay. Marianne,
Nope.
can I have a motion to adjourn?
You don't have anything, Scott?
I don't. Oh, you know what? I do. But now I don't remember what it was.
You were gonna tell me to take a month off, starting tomorrow.
No, I wanted to ask you a question about something we talked about months ago, and it was just brought to my attention. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. Oh, the lights at the mini park. That's what it was.
Huh?
We're still paying the electric bill for the lights at the mini park.
What about the lights at the mini park?
We're still paying the bill for that, remember?
Which one's the mini
They're-
park again?
The mini park down next to the coffee shop?
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's a village park. The DMRC had come to us 2 years ago, maybe, and wanted to do some upgrades. And we allowed them to put the sun sails up. And they took out a lot of the plants and put in like some rock garden things. They purchased through donations, the nice tables and chairs and benches that are there. And some trash receptacles that have recycle on it. And then they went ahead and put in lighting down there. They look like Edison bulbs that are hung all around. And we were surprised to see it. And when I checked with Jenny, she said that it's been minimal on what the electric bill was. So I did not push it.
Okay.
She does do a lot for the village, but I certainly wish that when they want to move forward on a project that's on public property, not private property, that they would check before they do things.
Okay. But it's been minimal. That's what Jenny
That's what I've
says.
been told, that it was minimal.
Okay.
'Cause
Fair enough.
geez.
I was just shocked to look up and see him still plugged in that pole after we had discussed this months and months ago. Okay. All right. So that was the only thing I had to bring up.
And
Matt,
we are,
pardon me.
I'm sorry, and this is a planning thing. We are contacting all the businesses that have the lighted signs in their windows, the ones that rotate or flash, to let them know that they need to be stationary. The new mini mart has put theirs on stationary, and there is some signage issues that I'm trying to work through with Mr. Patel. So,
Okay.
Yeah, those are bright lights. I can see them through the trees.
All
It's
right.
brighter than Crestwood Stadium
yeah,
or Dick Lambert Stadium, that, you know.
yes. Yeah, because he has three. He has one lottery. I don't even remember what they all say. ATM and something else.
Yeah.
And I mean, the signs, the blue and white signs, you know, we don't have any regulations that say what color their signs can be. So those are quite bold. But again, we don't have colors in our zoning to say. That might be something somebody wants to address. Also, he told me that he's going to have a sub shop wants to move in. They're going to be sending me a application for a sign for that. So as soon as I get that, we'll see if he has enough space to put up another sign. He did remove one that I told him I said, you didn't have a permit to put that sign up. So he did remove that last night. So.
Okay.
So I told, you know, like I said, we want businesses here. We're going to work with you. And if, when you're new and you don't understand our rules and regulations, I don't write the rules and regulations. I'm only the enforcer. And he was quite understanding.
She sounds like a hockey player. She's the enforcer. She's only the enforcer.
Well, I won't be as soon as you guys hire a village administrator.
Sounds like Matt's working on that.
Okay, now I hope I'm done. Like I said, I hope I didn't forget anything.
Okay. Anybody else?
And Heather, if you want copies of any of these grant applications that we have, let me know and we'll get them scanned to you.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't mind because I'd like to become a little more familiar with all these different sources.
Okay.
Going once, going twice.
Mhm.
Can I have a motion to adjourn at 7:17?
So moved.
I will second that, Mary Ann. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Good
Thanks,
night, all.
everyone. Have a great
All
rest
right,
of
good
the week.
night.